Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I thought we would take a look at something a little bit interesting while I was going through my box, sorting out some stuff and going through all the Kais and everything. I came across one of these guys right here, and it got me thinking about the subject of today's video. So I've gone through the wiki here and I've brought up a bunch of these cards. Not every single one, there's probably a few that I might have missed. But we are going to talk about, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title, the rarest cards in Dokkan. If you are a newer player, even within the last couple of years, there are some of these cards that you will not have. They are no longer available. I think every single one we're going to talk about in this video is actually no longer available. There's one, someone will have to let me know, I'll remember when we get there, if the event is actually available in the Portal of Memories, but it's only on JP. And obviously I'm a global player, so I actually can't even check. But yeah, we are going to go through the rarest cards in Dokkan. Like I said, it's not necessarily all of them. There's probably one or two I missed. So if there is, let me know down below in the comment section. In fact, I know there's actually some, I think there was like a V-Jump promotional, it's either a Trunks or a Blue Goku, before Dokkan actually came out. I should have brought that page up, but that one isn't in here. But if there are any that I missed out other than those, do let me know down below in the comment section. And then obviously let me know how many of these throughout this video do you have on your account. Let me know down below in the comments. Obviously, if you're a newer player, you might not have even seen any of these cards before, but we are going to go over all of them now. So first up, you can see we have the Santa Roshi. So there was a couple of years where for Christmas, Dokkan gave out the special Christmas themed Elder Kais, right? You can see here, guarantee super attack level. This card is literally the exact equivalent of an Int Elder Kai. I mean, you can see he's basically doing the same like pose as the Int Elder Kai card art, but just it's Roshi in a Santa outfit. And they gave these out, and you can see here for the first time it was 2016. They also gave these out the next year in 2017. And then when we move on to 2018, we had the Santa Trunks and Mai. Then in 2019, we had a Santa Goku. And then in 2020, we had the Kid Gohan and Icarus. Now, it's a bit of a shame that they didn't do more of these. I can't remember if they did the Gohan and Icarus again, but there is no other one after this. So it's one of those things, it would be cool if they had done more of these. Obviously, they did the original one 2 years in a row. And then for the next couple of years, we got a new one each year. So these are all the same thing. They are just the equivalent of an Elder Kai. But I, like many people, obviously kept at least one. I think I might only have one of each. Because back then, I didn't have as many Kais as I have now. But I kept one of each for collection purposes. It'd be cool to see them do something like this again in the future with other characters in the Santa outfit. But yeah, this is Christmas Special Edition Kais. I just double checked my thing. I do only have one of each. But yeah, I've got one of each saved in my box. But yeah, the Special Edition Christmas Elder Kais. Let me know if you have any or all of these guys. Now, when it comes to units you can actually use, we have probably the rarest units because they are, I think, the only summonable units. There's probably one that I'm missing off the top of my head. The only summonable units that are no longer available and have never been in any other banner. Obviously, I guess we don't know what they're doing with Heroes right now, but and that is the Arale summonable units. So obviously, for those of you who don't know who Arale is or don't know much about Arale, the manga that Toriyama created before Dragon Ball is called Dr. Slump and is about a scientist that creates a robot little girl, Arale. She's in, I don't know whether it's actually filler or if it's in the manga, but she's in Dragon Ball very briefly and meets Kid Goku. Obviously, we have the free-to-play LR Kid Goku and Arale. But they did do a banner. I think it got one rerun and then just never came back again after that. And this was, the first time it came out was December 2016 on JP, and then May 2017 on Global. And I remember we had this physical Arale. And I remember one of the big things at the time is she has an all types leader skill, which at the time was obviously really good. Leader skills back then were not great in the early years of Dokkan. I remember telling the story before, I'm sure many times. If you've been around the channel for a long time, you've probably heard me mention this before. The fact that one of my best leaders back in the day, when I'd first started up my account, was Physical Bardock, before he even had a TUR Awakening, because his leader skill was all types key +2. Because having a leader skill that could actually be used, especially if you had a newer account, like categories obviously weren't a thing back then, and just trying to fit all the best units you had on your account together into one team could actually be quite difficult. So all types leaders were actually really good. Obviously for me at the time, being a fairly newer player, I wasn't really spending money on the game yet, and at that time I think I'd heard of Dr. Slump, but I'd never read it or anything like that, so I wasn't really interested in summoning, of course, not knowing that these units would never come back. Otherwise, if I knew then what I know now, I would have tried to get at least one copy of each of them. But we had this physical one, this STR one that had an AoE. So back in the day there weren't many AoE characters, so having another AoE character, especially for the World Tournament, was obviously very useful. There was this AGL one. There was a couple of other characters on her banner. It was like Sour Man, and there's like a small boy ant robot as well. But yeah, all the units off of her banner. I think there's a General Blue from her banner as well. It's like a shirtless buff General Blue with a knife. And basically all the units on her banner specifically, none of those units have ever come back. The banner has never come back. They've never been put into the general pool. I assume that it's got something to do with licensing rights with the crossover, although the free-to-play Arale and Goku card is still available in the game, so I don't really know the full reasoning behind why these cards are no longer available. Chances are they will never be available again, as it's been years and years since these guys were last out. Like I said, I think the banner came back once, either on JP or Global, and then obviously never again. So very, very rare, these units, if you have them. So there's also a unit that came out. This is the one I talked about at the very beginning, that only on JP, which was a free-to-play, I believe. Yeah, it was farmable from a Penguin Village like story event. But it's Arale on the Nimbus wearing Goku's outfit, and then there's a free-to-play Goku wearing Arale's outfit. Only available on JP, and they were farmable from a story event. So I don't know if that story event is in the Portal of Memories. Like, someone on JP will have to let me know. But obviously if it is, then technically by using the keys, you would actually be able to get these units again. But if not, then obviously these were units that were only available at the time. Despite being free to play, if that event's not available, then obviously these units never returned either. So unlikely that we'll see like a new Arale crossover or anything in the future, which would probably be the only other way these units would come back. So these Arale units and all the units from the Penguin Village banner are incredibly rare. So then another playable unit we have, shout out to our boy Bringer in the community, big Android 18 fan, the New Year's Android 18. So Android 18 in a kimono, this was the login bonus for 2018. So literally 1st of January 2018, everybody was given copies of these in the gift box. I can't remember exactly how many, if it was only 5, but I know you did get enough that you could open her paths. And then obviously Android 18, I think at the time, did have a farmable super attack already. But yeah, I actually did a long time ago. I think it might have been, was it when Android 21 came out? Android 18's finally got a 200% leader, but not that long ago, within the last year or two, I think, I've done a Rainbow Link level 10 showcase for her. Obviously, she is terrible. I mean, you can see here from her passive, right? At the time, she was actually, I guess, like a somewhat okay support unit, but the Androids team wasn't exactly great then. It was more of just a, trophy piece. It's interesting as well that they did this one time only. Now, obviously, for 2019, it's not like we would have got like an Android 19 in a kimono or something, but they could have easily done for the following years other members, like other Peppy Gals characters or other members of the Dragon Ball cast in this sort of like New Year's outfits. A lot of people were really hoping that, considering we got the 18 one for 2018, that we'd get an Android 21 one for New Year's 21, but they have never done another one of these. So this was literally only available as a login bonus on the 1st of January. So, I mean, even if, I guess, even if you were playing the game back then, but you just didn't log in on the 1st of January, you wouldn't have got the unit, right? Because I don't think it was one of those ones like we get now for celebrations where it's like the first time you log in during the celebration, you get XYZ, like redstones for the anniversary and stuff like that. I think it literally had to be you just had to log in on New Year's Day 2018, and then you got the Kimono 18. So very, very rare card. Not everybody is going to have this unit. Not that she's worth running or anything. Same with the Arale cards now, right? Obviously, they're not going to be usable. And they're probably never going to get an easy A. So they're just box trophies at this point. Speaking of box trophies, later on in 2018, after the New Year's Android 18, we also got for April Fools a login gift card of all the Peppy Gals together. I think this was all the characters that were in the game at the time. Although, actually, yeah, no, I think Ranfan had an SR already. All the Peppy Gals characters. Now, this is weird because we saw the image, like in the data download and everything. But this card is not a playable card. So it's not a Kai, it's not a like a Hercule statue, although I think it does, yeah, it does have a value for Zenny. But yeah, it's like a non-playable card that you just got as a login bonus that you could see in your box. Of all the Peppy Gals characters together, Dragon Ball heroines. It's a bit of a shame that it wasn't a playable character. I guess the categories and everything would have been pretty terrible outside of just Peppy Gals and Joint Forces. Because, yeah, I guess with the way categories work, those categories didn't exist then, obviously. They'd have been added later for some of them. But, like, even Earthbred Fighters, the 17 and 18s aren't on those. So just literally because she's on the card, they wouldn't get that either, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this was a 2018 April Fool's Day login bonus, and it's just a trophy card that cannot be used for any events or anything. Then we did get, the year before that, we actually got this April Fool's, the mass-produced soldier Cyberman. Now, the funny thing is, like, the logo is back then the old school, like, login screen for Dokkan. So you've got like Cyberman at the front doing the Kamehameha pose for instead of in place of Goku. You've got the Trunks with the Cyberman with the Trunks sword on the right. And this unit is actually a playable card. I don't remember how many copies of them we actually got. Let me just double check my, because I have them. So have I rainbowed them? I must have, surely. Unless we didn't actually get enough copies to. Yeah, mine's only Super Attack 1 and doesn't have any paths open, so I did link level them though, funnily enough. Yeah, so we must have only got one copy, because if we'd got the copies and I'd stupidly used them for Super Attack level, the unit would be at least at Super Attack 5 or would have just be fully at 10. But as mine is only Super Attack 1 and has no paths open, then that implies that they actually didn't give any other copies and it was just the one. Which is a bit of a shame, at least with the, I guess they learned that by the then end of that year as we went into 2018, the login bonus 18, they did actually give enough copies for you to at least open all the paths, because a little bit disappointing to get these like funny sort of free-to-play login trophy cards and then we don't get enough copies to actually rainbow them. So even if they were good enough to be usable, which obviously some of them aren't anyway, regardless of whether they're rainbow or not, but a little bit disappointing that you don't actually have the option to rainbow them, put dupes into them or anything like that. So, but you know, it is what it is. But these guys, definitely an interesting and funny, like, Cyberman version of the Z Fighters card. So then we also have a really rare one. Shout out to D3, the Krillin, big Krillin fan. The Police Officer Krillin. So funnily enough, actually, we joke about how Pajama Beerus is like the a character that has a different name for a very strange reason, because he's not in a different form or anything. It's literally him just wearing different clothes, and he gets a different name in Dokkan. But this Krillin is actually called Krillin brackets Police Officer, so he does actually have a unique name compared to the other Krillins in the game, which is kind of funny. This guy was available, farmable from a Resurrection of F story event that was available just, I think it was before the movie came out. And then the event was essentially discontinued. So the event where you could farm this character from, he was a free-to-play farmable card, but the event where you could farm him from was completely removed from the game, and is my understanding, at least as of right now, that the event is not available in the Portal of Memories, so the event was just completely removed and no longer able to be accessed, and therefore this guy unable to be obtained anymore at this point. Obviously, again, like, I mean, he's just an R that awakens into an SR, so he can't have a hidden potential. Obviously, the card is not actually any good, but in terms of rare cards and cards that are just completely unobtainable now, he is one of the big ones up there. Very interesting, considering that we don't actually have any other version of the Police Officer Krillin, considering the various different crossovers and stuff with the movies, and like every time we've gotten anything else Resurrection of F related, you could imagine this guy getting a like a banner unit or something would be kind of interesting. But yeah, Police Officer Krillin, very rare and now unobtainable card in the game. And then last but not least, the other one that I had brought up here is this Kibito. I think there's one other one actually, a Piccolo Jr. Or is it Amar Jr.? I think. This guy was a Super Strike character. You can see here from a Discontinued, it is a strike event. We actually got a Kibito strike unit. It came out in 2015 on JP, and then April 2016 on Global. And then the event went away at some point and just never came back. Because, I mean, going by my total login days on the game, was I playing it April 2016? I'm not sure actually now. But yeah, this is one of the units that I don't have. So there are, like I mentioned, I didn't summon for the Arale characters. There's that Arale and Goku in each other's clothes. That's JP only. So obviously I don't have those. But yeah, this guy, I do not have this guy. Like I say, I don't remember if it's probably one of those things where if his event was actually available when I first started playing the game, I was so new to playing the game and obviously hadn't yet figured out exactly what I was doing and what events I needed to do and what units I needed to farm and all that kind of stuff. It's very possible that the event might have been in the game for a short time still when I first started playing, and then I just didn't get around to actually getting or farming the unit before it then became unavailable. So there's this guy, and I believe another, I think it's a Piccolo Jr. In fact, there is a section. See, he's under... Oh, there you go. It wasn't freely obtainable. There is actually a category here, limited release. But some of these are characters you can get. Like, remember, there's things like the anniversary login characters. You can buy those each anniversary with the anniversary, like, login coins. There's this Goku that was an anniversary special. I think he awakened with medals that were given out on, like, a later anniversary. And then I don't think he's been available again after that. I'm trying to look at the list. Is there a Piccolo Jr. strike card? I'm trying to think what typing he was. But yeah, you've got like the Beelzebub that was a recent one given out for the Sandland collab. Like there's a few in here that are very recent ones like him, and then there's that STR I've forgotten his name already now, Icarus, that we all got like recently for one of the events. I can't remember which one. I'm not seeing the Piccolo Jr. here. I thought he was physical, but I'm not seeing it. There's the Super Saiyan Goku from the One Piece collab. I think I did save a copy of this guy, but never actually like opened his paths, so he's not rainbow for me. But it's a Bye Guys Goku. It came out with the One Piece collab where there was no unit or anything from One Piece, but you fought I think it was Doflamingo, a guy from One Piece, and you could farm Super Saiyan Gokus from that stage, which at the time there was no other farmable Super Saiyan Goku, so I remember people farmed like loads of copies of him, so you could then raise the SA of later Super Saiyan Gokus. Oh, there you go, it's this guy. Heir to the Evil King Piccolo Jr. Yeah, an SR Piccolo Jr. who is from a Discontinued Strike event. So for some reason, of all the Super Strike characters, who obviously later got TUR Awakenings and then got the revamp with the Easy A's, like that they've all just gone through in the last year or so, for some reason these two just never came back at all and never got TUR Awakenings from back in the day. So there you go. That is a rundown of some of the rarest cards in Dokkan. Like I said at the very beginning, do let me know down below in the comment section, out of all of these units, which ones do you have? Are there any that you saw here in this video for the first time that up until now you literally had no idea even existed? do let me know what ones you guys have of these rare cards down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.